and welcome to my channel. Today I've got a full video for you all about going on abroad trips, on city trips alone, going to the cinema alone and all that sort of stuff. That actually sounds negative, but it's a very positive thing actually, so stay tuned. So, just to get one fact out of the way, by the way, that sounded so weird. Anyway, I'm not just talking about multiple days trips abroad. Like, I'm not just talking about city trips or hiking trips or whatever. I'm also talking about going to a concert or going to the movies or going out sporting, going out doing sports alone. You know, like basically any activity you do outside of your own home. It doesn't matter if it's like for an hour or for like 5 days. So yeah, it goes for anything. Also, yeah, basically let me just tell you why I like to do things alone. It's because I'm actually very unsocial. I'm not unfriendly, it's just that I'm very, very introverted. And to me personally, it really depends on the goal. Like, if I'm going to the cinema, I'm going for the movie. If I'm going on a city trip, it depends really. Like, I might be going for the city itself, in which case I want to go alone. Or if I'm going there with a friend, then the social aspect is the priority. When I go somewhere with other people, then I go to be social with those people. When I go somewhere for the activity in itself, I really want to be able to focus on the activity in itself, and I can just more easily do that without other people. So for me it's just a lot more relaxed to, for example, do a hiking trip alone, if really the hiking in itself is the entire goal and purpose. Also, I can be really annoying. No, really, because when I go somewhere with another person and it's like a physically demanding whatever, like a hiking trip or whatever, like I'm constantly like, are you okay? Are you tired yet? Do we need to go for a break yet? Do you need food yet? Do you need to piss? I'm like, if I'm not careful, I'll end up completely mother-henning the other person. Which I make sure not to, because it will be annoying for them. But, you know, resisting the urge is still annoying to me. Because, like, I just feel really responsible for the other person. And it just really distracts me from the actual activity. So, yeah, when I go on a hiking trip especially, I'd rather go alone, so I don't have to worry about other people. Now, of course, there are some things you could count as a, you know, pros and cons to, like, traveling alone. There are some cons. For example, the simple fact that you have to do everything yourself and it's all your own responsibility. Now, of course, it sort of depends on what you're going to do. If you, for example, are going to the cinema alone, well, you check when you have time to go, you buy a ticket and you go there and that's it. That's not very complicated or difficult, but for example, in vlog 38, you could see me go to the Harz Mountains in Germany for a hiking trip. And that also involves going to find a hotel and stuff like that. You know, booking a hotel, getting tickets for the steam train and all. Yeah, that is something that is, like, it was for me also not nerve-wracking or anything, but like a little bit more like exciting, because it was my first time booking a hotel alone in an area I had never been before, so I didn't know anything there. So yeah, my advice is to, for a start, just make a little list. Doesn't matter if you do it on paper or mentally. Just make a list for yourself what you actually want, because of course every hotel is going to portray itself as the best hotel in the universe, because duh. But not every hotel is going to be perfectly suited for whatever you want. For example, I wanted a hotel that was not in the center of the little town, because I just wanted to be able to park my car easily. Also, because the first day I wanted to go hiking, I just wanted a hotel at like the edge of the town, so I could easily get out of the town into the mountains. And I don't mind walking, so when I did want to go to the center of the town, I just walked there. But like, for example, if I were to go to Berlin on my own, I would definitely go there by train and get a hotel in the center of the city, because I would want to just be in the center of the city, and then it's just easier if your hotel is actually already there and you don't have to travel to get into the city. So that really just depends on what you're looking for, and don't go look and immediately book a hotel. I would definitely recommend just sleeping on it 1 or 2 nights, maybe let someone else look along with you and be like, oh, I would pick this or that, because they might notice stuff that you haven't noticed. And also check the reviews, look at pictures and make a well thought out decision. Also, if you want to go do stuff on a multiple day trip that require tickets, I would definitely recommend getting those beforehand so you don't have to worry about them while you're there. I already got the tickets for the train ride on the second day I was there, while I was still at home in the Netherlands. So I could just easily go online, look them up, buy them, print them, done. And just, you know, take those tickets along, obviously. And just, it was just a lot more comfortable because I didn't have to worry about it right then and there. So I could just enjoy my time there without worrying about stuff like that. So yeah, like basically, I suppose you could see it as a con to have to do everything yourself and to have it all be your own responsibility. But admittedly, I also actually see it as a good thing because you do actually really learn to trust yourself. Oh, and one other thing, of course, is there's no other person with you to constantly share all your experiences. But yeah, like, me personally, it doesn't bother me. Like, if you are the type of really extroverted person who really needs people around you, then it's probably a lot different, but they are probably not watching this video. But yeah, me personally, I don't mind having only digital contact with people for a couple of days. Also, of course, there are other human beings at most hotels, so there is some form of social interaction each day anyway, so that's good. But yeah, like, and most places these days have really good internet connection and phone connection. Like on top of the Harz Mountains, on top of Brocken, the highest mountain of the Harz Mountains, I actually phoned my mom to just tell her, hey, I'm up here now, it's really cool here. And the phone reception wasn't perfect, but it was fine. So yeah, you can always call people if you do want to chat with someone. So yeah, to me that's not really a con either. And there are, of course, also a lot of pros to traveling alone. For a start, obviously, you can do whatever you want. Like, really, you can just pick the hotel you want, you can pick the movie you want, you can go for a run in whatever direction and at whatever pace you want. You don't have to take another person's opinions into account because you're going there alone. So all you have to worry about is yourself. Which is, to me, just, you know, it gives a sense of freedom. So yeah, that's something I really like. And also you only have to mind your own agenda, which especially with longer trips is also a lot less of a hassle. And then there's the fact, and that's for me the most important thing, you really grow as a person because, again, going back to like my trip to Germany, they speak German there. Yes, I know, it's very surprising. My German, I thought, wasn't very good. It's not amazing, really, but it's better than I thought because I did actually manage to communicate just fine. Keep in mind that other people usually will try to actually understand you anyways, even if you don't speak their language perfectly. So yeah, there's that. But, you know, when you're standing there in front of the hotel and like the door is closed, there's no one else you can ask to take action. You have to take action yourself. You're going to have to make a phone call, you're going to have to talk in German, you're going to have to communicate with people. And just by doing so, by being forced to do so because you're there alone, yeah, you just get the confirmation that you're actually perfectly capable of doing so. That you're actually perfectly capable of just, you know, settling your own business. And just, you know, make sure that things happen on your own. So yeah, that's to me a really, really important thing too, because I just really noticed for myself, ever since I started doing things alone, I've really been building more and more confidence, like self-confidence, because now I know that I can do a city trip alone. I know I'm perfectly fine going to a hotel in Germany alone, having to talk a different language. And it just worked out well, and I'm just perfectly capable of doing that. And that's just really something that makes you grow as a person, in my opinion. You just start to feel so much more self-confident, and that is a really, really good thing. Now, of course, there are also things like safety precautions. Obviously, if you go somewhere alone, there are places that I would or wouldn't go. Yeah, like I wouldn't go to completely desolate areas. Like, for example, I went hiking in the mountains, but there were other people there, you know. Like, it's actually a nature park and nature reserve, I think. Anyway, so there were other people there hiking, and some on their own, some with their partners, whatever. But there were other people there. Like, I didn't go more than like 20 minutes without encountering human life. So yeah, I do find that very important. For example, I wouldn't go take a hiking trip on a completely off-trail area where I won't encounter anyone, because let's face it, if something happens to me, if I fall and break a leg, then I'm there all alone, and that would really not be good. So yeah, that's for me an important thing. When I go somewhere alone, I do prefer to go to places where there's actually other people. And always, no matter if you're going to like a really safe place, always make sure that people know where you are. Just again as a safety precaution. Like, it's actually usually, of course, not necessary, but, you know, better safe than sorry. Make sure that you go to a place where you are safe, and make sure you go to a place after telling people where you're going. That's an important one. Oh, and obviously, if you go somewhere by car, for example, make sure that your car is like well maintained, and always make sure that you bring like, you know, a first aid kit or something, and like all the cards you need. I always bring a debit card and a credit card and some cash just to be sure. Just those sort of things. So that's basically it. Yeah, there's my reasonings, the pros and cons, and some tips and tricks and advice sprinkled in between. If you want more advice from me, you can always ask, and I'll try to give you a useful answer as always. And yeah, just so you know, like, you don't have to immediately go for the big things. You know, you don't have to immediately go on vacation alone. You don't even have to immediately go on a city trip alone. Just start with something easy. Just start with going to the cinema alone, or going to a concert alone. You know, that sort of stuff. Just because that was my chair creaking. I don't know if you could hear that. Anyway, but just because those are things that are, like, especially in the cinema, you don't have to feel awkward for being there alone, because you're watching the screen. You're watching a movie, and there's absolutely no need to be social in the first place. So start with something like that. Like, that's how I started. I started out going to the cinema alone, going skating alone, going to concerts alone. You know, that's just how I started as well. And then you will notice eventually that the whole step of going on a city trip alone, over time it just got a lot less scary. Until you finally do it and realize, wow, this is an option too now, and it was a lot of fun. And you give yourself more and more options that way. But yeah, just start with something easy and just build it up from there. Would be my advice if you want to start doing things on your own. And also keep in mind, it's not a either or situation. Like, you can go places alone and also go places with other people. Because I still love going shopping with friends. I love going on vacation with my parents. I still want to make a few city trips with several friends of mine. You know, it's not like if you like going places alone that you can certainly not go there with other people anymore. It can coexist. You can like going places alone, and you can also enjoy going there with other people. Like I said, to me it just depends on what my priority is. Social interaction or the actual activity. So yeah, that's basically it. I really hope this video was useful to you. If you enjoyed it, please click the like button. It would really help me out, because it makes YouTube suggest my videos more often to new people. If you want to see more of my videos, you can always subscribe to my channel. I actually mostly do makeup tutorials and vlogs, but sometimes I just drop a chatty video like this one in there as well. And yeah, that was it for today. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!